Meeting to order, since we do have a quorum, before anybody finds a reason to get out of here. We'll begin with the invocation, and if you'll rise for that, if I can get up out of this chair.
You got it?
I got my foot caught on it. No, I'm fine. Okay, just got my foot caught on it. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to serve our community. We ask that you guide us and lead us to serve with pride, dignity, and honesty, and a transparency that makes the community feel as though we're serving them. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay. Do we have any citizens' comments?
I'd like to make a comment, sir, and I'll be stepping away. Just for the information of the chairman and the board, in December, of course, it's been a while since we've met, but in December, I started reorganizing the city staff to better serve the citizens. And one of the steps that I took was I promoted Monica Veliz, our city secretary, to assistant city manager. For the purpose of assisting me with two boards, the planning and zoning, and one, this board right here. I felt that the need was very important, two boards that are very important to the city, one for shaping it and one for entertaining and planning for the future. So with her help and Diana's, now that she's on board, I think that the sky's the limit for us as far as our building, as far as our sports complex, our roping arena, and any future plans that this board wants to tackle. I think that them focusing on that to assist you all is going to be very beneficial. So I will be stepping away. I'll allow Monica to work with Diana for a while so I can evaluate her and her ability to take on that. So you'll see me periodically just to make sure that I stay in touch with y'all, because I like working with you, but I want to make sure that you get the attention that y'all need. So having said that, I will be gone. Diana will be here. Monica couldn't make it this first meeting. There was a death in her family, so she's attending the services, but she will be here during those meetings. If not, Diana's here. And at any time, Mr. Chairman, you've got issues or you need for me to be here at the meeting, you just call me. You know where I'm at.
I know how to get a hold.
Yes, sir. So thank y'all.
Awesome.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Take care. Be safe.
Thanks, boss.
Thank you, Amy. Okay.
Hey, Miss, you know who I am.
We have a consent agenda this evening. Review and approve outstanding minutes for
We don't have any.
2022, and I understand we just got that canceled.
No, we don't have any outstanding ones.
Okay.
I was going through the year of C, and I didn't find
Okay.
any. I could be wrong, but I didn't find any.
I thought we
I think
had
we've got
most of
it.
them.
We've got them all entered.
Okay. First thing on our agenda is a brief by the facility and events manager or designee and discussion and possible action by the board about monthly reports related to usage, rentals, tenants, daily operations of the event center, and changes or actions that are needed and the status of any repairs. So that takes in a lot of territory, so Diana, it's all yours.
Okay, so this is our 2023 book. So I will tell you, if y'all want to go through it, we are pretty much booked almost all the way to December. Very few dates left on the weekends. We are working on getting more rentals during the week. We're still hosting meetings with oil companies that want to have their meetings here. If they can't have it in the ballroom, we offer them one of our classrooms. So we are working on, we even have a couple of weddings during the week as well. So, and like those weddings, usually when they're during the week like that, they don't want us to do concession or whatever. So it's pretty easy setup. They pay their money, we get our staff in here to help them, and they get married. And pretty much, we have a lot of repeat people as well. Like they'll have a quince, they'll have somebody in the family that gets married. They always want to come back because the venue's large enough to hold how many people they want. They like that we can separate the spaces out for them, the use of the kitchen, the patio. We always have enough staff in the concession and enough staff. Our maintenance guy usually comes in during their time to help them out with whatever they need as well. As far as like on the gym side, Debbie's going full force. We also have TNT volleyball. I've had a couple of organizations reach out to me and they want to use the gym in between. It's just not enough for them. So they're like, well, try again another time. So they're not really upset about it. They'll usually find maybe the school or something like that. I did have some like younger, parents that have kids that are playing basketball, and maybe during the holiday, they're off during the day. They're like, hey, can we rent it for a couple of hours? They're willing to pay and they do it. We don't charge them a whole lot. We charge them $30 an hour, but we do have them pay the $50 deposit fee, and nobody's
Mess anything up that
No.
they couldn't earn it.
Yeah, and they're not like, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. Usually it's like, tell me when you want to come in, let me tell you the dates I have available. Sometimes it doesn't work out for them because we have all those other tenants already here, I'm having somebody look at the roof right now. I had his name is Silva. Oh my gosh. It'll come to me. He came and he did an assessment on the roof up there.
From Texas Roofing?
Yeah, Texas Roofing. Cerna.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
So he's gonna give us a quote on repairs and also maybe replacing eventually. I have Horizon as well coming to do the same thing. He said one of the major, Horizon, when he went up there, one of the major things is when the drain, they get clogged up. If somebody doesn't go and clean them out, it kind of turns into cement, so the water doesn't drain properly. So I'm gonna have to have Jerry go up there and kind of help clean out every once in a while, so that doesn't happen again if we repair.
For general information, we've had roof problems since day one.
Because it's a
of this
flat
building.
roof, yeah.
And we've got all the air conditioners up there. And if there's one of them that's not sealed right, or
Right.
something like that, we get water on the floor.
Right.
And they completely redid the roof. We filed a lawsuit back a number of years ago, and they came back and redid the roof and made some repairs because we had some mold around the side of the building. And it's been a nightmare, but we lived through that. We went through a whole year practically where we couldn't do anything there because we had the roof off and we had other things happening. So we've got to keep up with that. It's a thing that we have to do every once in a while because the roof was poorly designed.
Right. And he was saying that in the back, one of the gutters is down, so there's some break in the seal, so that's gonna need to be looked at as well. We are painting the inside of the ballroom, just to freshen it up, because there's been places where people did tape, like we try really hard to have them not put anything on the wall, and then you show up and it's on there. Once they take it down, it'll take off. But Jerry and I have a contractor that comes in, and they've been working together to work on that as well. So we're just trying to freshen things up and keep the place going. I'm like, take pride when you come in the morning, you see something on the ground, pick it up. Jerry rides his Polaris and he picks up the trash, and we're trying to keep that mindset that just don't pass it by, take care of it, What else can I tell you? Is there anything y'all want to ask of me? Like,
I guess, has there been any new updates or status on, I know last time we met in November, we discussed like an event coordinator.
we haven't moved on that.
Okay.
No. We haven't.
Has that been, because we said the city council had to talk about it?
Right.
Has that been presented to them?
No.
No, okay.
And that needs to be, I need to talk to Andy and have that put on the agenda so we can get that rolling. I've hired.
Well, if we have such a busy year, I feel like that's going to be an important position for us to.
Yeah, and I mean, we've had some events where they're fine with not having anybody here, and then there was an event a couple of weeks ago, and that bride was like, can you please have somebody here for the cake? Because most people get married here, but when they don't get married here, that's when they need somebody here, because they're at the church, you know. So then I try to bring in like Mike or Jerry early enough for them to kind of watch that, you know. So yeah, we haven't moved on that yet. I am trying to build up the concession staff so that we won't have the same people all the time, and and like if one of them can't do it, I need to have somebody there. So I have built up that staff as well.
Are we having good luck at doing that?
Yeah, most definitely. Getting their TABC certificate and coming in and working, and they're like, it's hard work, but I like it. We've had quite a few weddings that, like, we have a wedding this Saturday, and they're putting a $5,000 bar tab right offhand. We had one a couple of weeks ago. She came in and put 1,000, then put another 1,000, and then she's like, if we go over, I'll pay that before we leave. So we have, the concession sales have been really good, the beer.
You go to these weddings.
You weren't invited? Well, it's this, well, it's,
We get invited to that wedding.
We just put our back on.
yeah, you know what, I'll tell him, hey, he's just coming in to help me out.
I'm working.
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Mine's in my purse.
So, yeah, I mean, and I know one of the complaints from my staff was not having sometimes the supplies they needed to take care of stuff, and they're getting back on track on that. They're on board with everything. You know, it's taken a little bit of time to kind of get them all together and to kind of trust me. You know, coming in new, they're probably like,
Yeah.
what does she want? Is she going to replace me? And I'm like, I'm not here to replace anybody. I'm here just to work with everybody. So we've been doing really good, a lot better, you know.
And
So, yeah.
nothing, like, we haven't seen any more, I guess, damage or destruction like in the roping arena area?
No,
Going back there cutting ruts or
No.
doing
so-
anything that shouldn't be, basically?
Not really. I will tell you, I still need to get a handle on having the girls tell me when somebody's vending it, because they don't have to go through me to do that. They usually call the city, they do their contract there, they pay on the spot because that has to be done. There's no payments on it, you pay it. And there was an event last Thursday. That one, like, he let me know like a couple of days before. So, okay, so let me write the contract on it, got with him. He wanted the roping arena drugged twice, watered once, and then he got there and he's like, I don't know how to get in the press box. Where's the key? I'm like, I don't have the key. Never been given the key. And then he's like, oh, I had the key. It's inside.
Nice.
Yeah, so he ended up getting in there. I told him just to get a hold of me next time, and we'll get together so I can get the key so I can have it here. But then come on the next day, I had Jerry go back there to go make sure that the gates were locked, because that's the main thing. The gates, if they leave them open, they can start to, the weight on them will bring them down, they'll start sagging. So he's been going back there, making sure that the trash is picked up and everything as well. So we are in the midst of hiring somebody to be back there as well. So that person for the fields I will have them actually go back to the roping arena and making sure that everything's okay, and then making sure and policing the parking lot as well.
I was back there the other day. The arena itself, the floor of the arena is looking really good.
Good.
Nice.
It's
When did you go back there?
probably Sunday afternoon, maybe.
After the event?
Yeah.
Do you know if they've already picked up all the stuff underneath the press box?
I didn't look underneath
Okay.
the press box, but there wasn't any, I didn't see any trash laying around
Okay,
there.
so I think
And
if,
the arena looked like it was in good shape.
okay. Yeah, because the guys from the city went out there to go take care of some of that as well. Yeah,
That's good.
we're going forward, so it's a good thing. Yeah, and Tom is helping me revamp the contract right now for it to be a little bit more user-friendly, because right now it kind of puts everything in there about, you know, having security and alcohol, and people that are just needing it for a meeting are like, why do I need security? I'm not selling alcohol. And so we're kind of working on that, so everything that's important in the front, and then I can sign off and say not applicable if it's not an event that supports that.
Have we contacted the 4-H and the FFA and let them know that the arena's available for them too?
Mm-mm. No, but I can.
I think that would be a good idea. So in the Floresville, there's a horse club. If the 4-H can probably get you in touch with that.
You know who runs the 4-H? I know who to contact for FFA.
Call the agricultural extension
Ag
agent,
Extension Office.
and they're at the courthouse.
Okay,
They'll tell you.
okay.
And they can tell you what you need to know. They're in constant contact with 4-H all the way through.
Yeah, and I can get in contact with FFA and Horse Club, I
Right.
know them.
But if they want to use it for, I know they used to look for, FFA used to look for places where they could practice walking their steers in the arena
Sure.
and the heifers and stuff like that. That would be fine for that. If they want to have a mini show out there or something.
Yeah, most definitely. I'll do that.
Okay. You have anything else?
No?
Okay. We're going to move on to item B then. Discussion and possible action related to the changing time of our monthly meeting to 6:30. That's something that might make it easier for some people to be here at 6:30 rather than 6 o'clock. And our meetings aren't usually the type that run 3 or 4 hours. At least I hope they're never that way. And if that would be something that we're interested in, it might help our attendance and people getting here after they get off work and stuff like that. So is there any discussion about that? Or if someone would like to make a motion to do that, then we can go ahead and proceed with it.
I'd motion to do that. That definitely helps me get here,
Okay.
for sure.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion that anyone would like to make on that?
I think that's a good time.
Okay, then all in favor of moving our meeting time to 6:30? Okay, we're all in on that.
We got an extra voter over there.
Yeah, we should have asked him first. Okay. Discussion and possible action related to the events at the center on the property of the, this year. What have we got going on set up in the way of major events this year?
We have, okay, so on March the 3rd, we have a ballet, it's like a folklorical kind of event. Apparently they've had it in the past. This will be my first time helping out with that. We have some gun shows coming up.
What is the date on that?
March the 4th.
The gun shows March the 4th?
No, the mariachi. It's considered a ballet event. It says mariachi event, but it says ballet Nepantla on the actual like description.
It's like a dance.
Yeah.
There's a group that goes to some contest or something, and they come by here on the way home.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, let me
And
see. I just
they're
sent it
from
to
the
you.
Rio Grande Valley, and they're really, really.
So it's a story of women and their roles during revolutionary Mexico performed through extraordinary dance and innovative choreography.
And we had at one time discussed the possibility of having a mariachi festival and having, inviting high school groups and stuff like that, on like a Saturday or something like that. And this group had come, I think they've been here maybe 2 or 3 years. If it's the same group I'm thinking about, we've had we've had a fairly good attendance all but 1 year, and I don't know what happened that year.
Well, back a long time ago, Floresville used to have a mariachi group, didn't they?
Mhm. Yeah.
Like before y'all.
We even had a
graduated?
mariachi group at the high
Yeah,
school
it's a high school
at one
band.
time.
Yeah.
And there are some schools around that have really good mariachi groups.
What year was that?
And if we had a festival or something like that, or a contest, I can see us doing well with something like that.
With this, like, this was, I want to say that this was brought about in August or something like that. And I know we were gonna try to piggyback off of that,
Right.
but because of the time frame that all of this has been happening, it's not enough. So, we're just gonna keep that event on there and just have it only be that. The day before, Ricky Morones wants to hold a boxing event on that Friday. And we offered it to him because he was looking for a date and I had no dates to give him.
Yeah.
And so, the only thing is that he has to have his stuff out of here
Right.
that night. He can't leave it for a couple of days because we have the next event. Because like I said, we are pretty booked. We also have the Home and Garden Show, on the 25th.
Of March.
And the Wilson County News, Elaine Kaloji puts that on. They'll come in on the 24th and start setting everything up. And then the following week, on March 31st, we have the Premier Gun Show. And he will use the full ballroom, including the gym as well.
Hey. Pretty March 31st.
The 31st and the 1st. So he'll come actually, I think he sets up on the 31st and the 1st is the actual.
The actual game.
Yeah.
Nice.
What is that?
It's a Friday, and well, they'll come in on Friday and then Saturday.
What day was that? I'm sorry, Diane. Listen.
April 1st is the actual, the gun show.
Okay.
It's because we write it on both days, because we want to make sure that nobody rents it on the days that they're setting up.
April the 1st, April Fool's Day, huh? Oh, boy.
And then,
Go get your gun on it.
and then the Wilson County, and then the Wilson County Historical Society is having an event on the 15th of April. She just, I presented for her last week, for her to utilize the hotel motel funds, and she was awarded money for that.
We got this viral.
Yes. And that's on the 15th. She's calling it, oh my gosh. I presented on behalf of her and I don't remember what she's calling it. She just did a whole Facebook post about it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Western Shindig. She's having one in April and I believe another one in June.
Yeah.
Quite a few weddings. We have the Livonia prom. We're also gonna host a Cinco de Mayo event on May the 5th, and that will be a city event. That'll be my first time doing that, so I've already printed out the flyers from last year to see how that.
It was a good turnout last year.
Yeah. So, and then we're also going to be doing, so the Texas Retired Teachers Association reached out to me as well. They're
Right.
wanting to have their event during the week. I'll be working with Jesse and Melissa Ramos on that in May.
We have people from about 13 different counties come in for that retired teachers. It's a district.
Nice.
It's an officer training.
And then in June, this is the first I've seen this because I'm going through the book, Texas Bully Wars. It's considered a dog show. June the 3rd. So I haven't had a chance to go through every contract, but during the beginning of the month, I have Ruth pull them. I have her go through everything to make sure people have paid, make sure they pay their deposits, and start to getting information so that we can start getting our layouts for it, getting our staff ready, if there's a concession, getting all of that ready. We also have, of course, the 4th of July event. We're going to be doing that as well. We also have a martial arts in July. And another gun show right after that, the following weekend. One of the things, I don't know if, were you around when they used to do the summer series of a concert summer series? I would like to do something like that and have it during the middle of the week.
They used to do it out on the patio
Yeah.
out there by under the patio and trees, and people would come and we'd have the bar open and serve drinks and things like that, and there were sandwiches and some concessions out there.
So I think what I was wanting.
The only
because-
problem, we had to do it a little, we found out it got really hot out there, and we had to wait a little bit later in the evening
Right.
until it cooled down.
So nowadays, I mean, now we could probably have food trucks come out and do that and then open the bar up. But I would like to see eventually some more lighting out there, because at night, even with the lights on the tree, is dark.
Yeah.
I know we have a couple of, they look like poles with little, I don't even know what you call them kind of things. I would like to get those out there spaced out and then start putting lights out there. And maybe even at one point, re-stringing the tree with better lights that are on there right now. I think that would help out. But I'd like to bring something like that back. Somebody mentioned it the other day. And I don't remember ever coming, but I heard it was a pretty good, big hit.
Yeah, they featured a lot of local
Local people.
that would come out, and a lot of them did for practically nothing. They would come out just so they could
Get their name out
get
there.
their name out there and people would see them. I know Crystal and Charlie Franklin used to come out quite often,
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
and they did quite a bit of stuff, and that was very good. And
I think these days since COVID has kind of passed, people are ready to get out.
yeah, have we, speaking of the patio, have we had anybody check the tree lately? We have to periodically have an arborist come and check that tree.
Okay.
The reason for that, we found out that it's an oak tree, and if you know anything about oak trees, they shed limbs every once in a while. And we don't want to have something where
Accident.
they're having a wedding and all of a sudden a big limb comes down on top of somebody.
No, I'm glad you, so how often would that be scheduled?
We did, and they also have to, they feed that tree.
Yeah,
We don't want to lose it.
yeah. I don't wanna
So,
overlook it.
We need to, I don't know how often I think it was every other year or something like that. But this has been a drought year, and I don't know what the situation is, but I do know that we need
Okay.
to spend some time checking that tree.
Yeah, I'll make sure that we check into that as well. So that Premier Gun Show, they're having another show in September as well. He's like, Sacred Heart Casino Night is doing theirs here. They moved here because they're,
Show barn was too small.
well, and their little, did they have it at the show barn this past year? Or
Yeah,
was it
the
in?
show barn
I thought they had it in their hall. They
No,
didn't.
it was show barn.
Okay, so yeah, he already came and met with me.
When's that?
Any Villanueva?
Yeah, October the 7th. So we'll also be helping FEDC out with the National Night Out as well. Goober Games, of course. FHS Fab 50s reunion. Pam Varnon, you know her?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been in contact because she wants to keep on having it every year. The powwow, they want to have that again in October. I think Consolata as well.
I don't know
Denim
if,
and Diamonds.
if anybody came to the powwow or not, but that was a big deal.
Was that the,
The Native American dancing, and they had all sorts of exhibits and things like that. And that comes off of our burial site out here. And I didn't realize we would have that many people. We had a lot of people out here,
nice.
and from all over. And they danced in the ballroom for hours and hours.
And they had vendors too, didn't they?
Yeah, they had
See, I
vendors.
started that Monday after that.
They had vendors. I was really taken aback by the number of people that were there. I've got a lot of pictures of it, and the costumes and things like that were really impressive to see. And,
Neat.
So we also like, Little League uses the event center for their once a month meeting. Peanut Festival uses the event center for their
we've got
once
the
a
stock
month.
show auction coming up too.
Yes, that's this weekend. Stock show is coming up this weekend. No, the 28th, sorry.
It's
The
next
28th.
weekend.
Yes. So he's already, Craig Boots came and met with me and let me know how we normally set up for that. It's pretty much an all-day event.
Yeah, it is.
So we open up one side, they sponsor, like, I guess, all the buyers for their hospitality, and then we open up our concession over here. And then they use the gym for kids if they want to go over.
And they come up and give kids their certificates and things like that, and then they auction off the animals.
Yeah, that's on the 28th, yes.
So for the majority of these events that are, separate from your weddings and quinceañeras and things of that nature, are they opened up to the public? And
A lot of them are.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then
And that's one thing that we need to do, is kind of let people know that they're open to the public.
Yeah, I try, I haven't had a gun show, but I'm hoping that our communication to him is for him to give us his flyer so that we can put it out there.
They usually do a pretty good job of, advertising the gun shows. But things like where we have things that are community type events, like the garden show and stuff like that, we need to be.
Yeah,
part
I'm
of the
meeting with
advertising.
Elaine next week. We haven't set up a date yet, but she contacted
Right.
me yesterday.
Okay,
Do y'all have any ideas or any thoughts?
so
we had a board member a couple of years ago that came up with something he wanted to try, and he actually went down the road with it a little bit. On the RFD channel and some of the other smaller channels, they have that polka party thing, and I know Round Top does that over by Brenham over there, and there's a lot of people that would come to that around here. And
What did you call it, a polka?
yeah, there's a thing on the, I'll get the name for you, but Joe Tejada thought that would be a really good thing, because a lot of that music is very much akin to the Tejada stuff, and he said people would come to it. And so we had thought about having, a polka festival or something like that here.
Okay. Awesome.
nothing as far as like a new event, but I know a few months back we had discussed, this was before you came on board, Diane, about additional marketing and advertising within the community, and have more signage available out as you get to this side of town, for people that just may not be aware where Floresville Event Center is. I don't know if that's something that, like, with these types of events, if that's something they can coordinate with us to, go in partially with that type of advertising or marketing, just on the signage,
Sure, most definitely.
They hang in Floresville in town, don't they hang like the Peanut Festival banner?
Mm-hmm.
Like for the big events that we do, like the 4th of July and the things that we have all the time, is it possible to hang a banner for those events in that
Just
same
think
place?
somewhere around HEB area.
Because I always see,
Yeah.
well, and it's like, I think right when you drive into town on
So,
C Street,
like, who-
isn't there that
yes.
big banner right there?
Makes those kind of banners, like,
Goodness, that's a good question.
I think just the sign, like a sign maker.
like gyms
Yeah.
downtown.
Mhm.
Yeah, some of those you can have made, and they'll create it to where the dates can be changed.
Yeah, like the.
That's all you're
the
changing
event.
out year after year, so you can continue
Okay.
to reuse the banner for, if it's an event that we're going to continue to have.
Yeah, most definitely. I can reach out to him. I've
Gonna
worked
show
with him
you
before.
3 times a year.
I know. It's like, yeah. I mean, he really liked this, and they utilize every square foot of the ballroom, like, he's like, where do you have your concession? I don't want it over there. Can y'all use this little one? Takes up too much space. I need to go all the way to the end. Like, his wife went and she's sitting there and she's marking they're selling every table they can,
Nice.
even in the gym. Like, maybe you can put your concession over here in this little gym, in this, or right here. Yeah, it's out of the way. Yeah. Like, literally, he wanted to use every
Outside.
inch, or every
That's good.
foot.
Okay, we'll move on to the next item, item D on the agenda. Discussion and possible action regarding adult sports and other events that could be offered at the center.
Right now, we're only offering, well, we have pickleball, but I don't know if that's being advertised, or how do people know?
Well, they're getting 15 to 25 people every time they open
Pretty successful.
for the pickleball.
That's pretty neat. I know when,
This was actually your right.
yes. I know
Oh, really?
Yeah. I know when Ches was in, we had football, 7-on-7 flag.
Oh, yes, oh, we are doing 7-on-7 in March.
Awesome for adults, Kurt? Okay, awesome. And then they had the kickball, the softball, volleyball. I think volleyball, TNT kind of does
He does.
majority of that
Mhm.
because we're in that league. But I've been asked about kickball, softball, all those things that we did, I guess, kind of towards the end of Chez's term here.
Right, right.
So getting
Okay.
that back going.
Dodgeball.
I don't
Dodgeball.
know if they had dodgeball, did they?
Well, no, I'm just saying dodgeball.
He's like, I wanna play dodgeball.
Yeah, I just want to really
I used
nail
to love
somebody.
dodgeball.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But I've been asked a few times, so just wanting to see where.
Yeah, so 7-on-7, yes, that we are working with them. They have so
I've
many
seen
days in March and April that he's gonna be able to utilize the football field and the concession.
I've seen it on Facebook.
Yes, so we finalized the contract on that, and I also now have an app on my phone that I can control the lights.
Nice.
So happy.
Awesome.
Yes, because I was asked to turn on the lights, and I'm like, Jerry, go show me. He goes, you know you can get an app. So I reached out to the company, and they walked me through it. So I got it on my phone now.
Cool.
I noticed also on Facebook somebody's organizing a ladies soccer
Okay.
team.
Nice.
We had one here for many years, the Flash, and they were competitive all over the state. They
Wow.
played. Wade Key coached it. And I don't know if y'all know Wade, but he was an NFL player. And he came back and coached the ladies soccer team here for years.
That's cool.
And his son is now the head coach at Hardin Simmons. Lance Key played professionally for the Colorado Rockies.
Wow.
So, right now, we have contracts getting ready, to sign one for the Little League, of course. And then Wildcats,
They're not happy.
yeah, he's not happy, which is fine. But he told me that they wanted to still go forward with their contract and pay for it, but they want to utilize the school more.
They want to use it for practice only, and then the games at the high school, because there's more room. The concession stand is tiny.
Yeah.
There's only one bathroom,
Yeah.
and we get a lot of people out there, so it's.
And I think the school's been working with them
Mhm.
more, because I know right before I left,
Mhm.
well, I did a contract for that.
So.
So, I mean, then they may be able to be opened up then for other
Right.
organizations as
In the
well.
fall.
We're always gonna want to have somebody's always gonna want to use something out there,
Of course.
you know? I don't think we'll ever lack that, honestly. There's such a need, people want to get out now, they want
Well,
to,
and there's going to be, with the growth that's coming in, with the subdivisions being
Oh
built.
my
I
gosh,
mean,
yes.
That's going to be families, which is going to equate to people wanting to stay local to play their events instead of having to truck their kids back to San Antonio for
Mm-hmm.
a basketball league or, a football league or something like that. So
right.
it'll definitely be there.
So I mean, as long as we'll always have somebody who wants to do something, we're happy to work with them, for sure.
Okay, I have nothing else on the agenda. If you have, I want to remind you that if you have any ideas for the agenda or things you would like to discuss, Tom always puts out an email He's fixing to
Text folks.
put that out, put out the agenda if you want to. I'm absolutely fine with anything. Some chairman of boards kind of rule the agenda.
Micromanage.
Micromanage
You're
the
not that
agenda,
way.
but I'm not that way. If you want to have it on the agenda, tell Tom, and he's got the authority to put it on there.
Awesome.
Can I make a suggestion that we send you something just on that same group text that you send out, but just as we maybe have it pop up in our head? Because I know sometimes when you ask for it, I may be at work and busy and.
Or you thought
and
about it before, and then
but
you're
didn't
like,
jot it down.
because across, it's like, I wasn't
So,
thinking about it.
You know,
Of course.
Happens to me all the
and
time.
just kind
Just
of collect them, yeah.
I look at the text messages to build the agendas for all
Yeah.
these boards. This is another board Bill's on, but I send them out. Yeah.
Tom and I spend quite a bit of time together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I typically do that. This particular one,
And I will tell you, anytime I email him, he always emails me back. Like, you do.
I try.
Yeah, no.
I'm good at that.
Yeah, he's like, I apologize, I haven't done this yet. And I'm like, you've been pretty on the ball about things.
So, but anyway, like I say, if you do have something you want on the agenda, or an idea that comes into your head, put it down.
Yeah,
Because I
please
know
do.
we forget it sometimes, and
Everybody's got jobs and.
the other day I wrote a note on my EMS agenda, about the 17th, and I couldn't figure out what in the world it was talking. I didn't remember why I wrote it. I just said, put it on there. And today it dawned on me why I put it there.
So I will tell you that not only do we rent out to clients who end up paying and stuff, and then we also, the task force, somebody, sergeant here, he reached out to me for them to have their meeting here on Monday in the gym. And I have a contractor that's willing to drive out here, unlock the door, make sure the space is available. We don't charge them. And they come in for maybe an hour to have their briefing. That they did interdiction? Yeah, so that's why they were coming over here to do that briefing. And then, so we do like
Forgot
our
about
open.
you. I was like, how do you people all know about this?
Give me some credit.
Yeah, so when organizations like that come forward and they want to have a meeting, we're not going to charge them.
We
They need
had,
a space and.
Our EMS had training out in the parking lot
Yes.
for 3 days.
He just called and told me, hey, can we use the space? Yes. I mean, a couple of those days were on a holiday.
Yeah,
Didn't hurt anybody.
and it's a good place. We do a lot of our vehicle work out there.
Rancho de las Cabras, when they have their monthly tour, they meet here. I did have them change from this side to that side because one bride was decorating
And that's something. that's
somebody
very-
walked in and she's like, is this for me? It was like a candy cane and she's like, who are these people coming in to go to the bathroom? So I reached out to them to have them start going on the gym side and Debbie's fine with it, so
Yes.
I'll have somebody come and open it up and close it up after they're done. So,
We don't advertise that very much. The city doesn't.
No, we don't, I think we put it on we have it on our website, we have it on our calendar. Yes, we do. That's why I'm like whatever the last one was, I kind of like panicked because I'm like, we have a big wedding and let me go take care of that. But, so if anybody says it's not being offered to the community, it is.
Okay, do I have there being no other business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
All right, I got a motion.
Second.
And a second.
Well, thank y'all for coming.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Thank you, Bill.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Amos was actually my son's coach.
Mm.
He was probably